Welcome to the FitBiz Accelerator, your ultimate guide to launching, growing, and scaling a thriving online fitness business. I'm your host, Tobias Young, and whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this podcast is packed with actionable tips, real-world strategies, and the insights you need to crush your business goals and build the business of your dreams. Now that you're here, let's dive in. Welcome to the FitBiz Accelerator, your ultimate guide to launching, growing, and scaling a thriving online fitness business. I'm your host, Tobias Young, and whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this podcast is packed with actionable tips, real-world strategies, and the insights you need to crush your business goals and build the business of your dreams. Now that you're here, let's dive in. Hey, so a lot of fitness professionals are told that growth means doing more, right? More posts, more clients, more calls, more hours. But more activity does not always create a better business. Sometimes it just creates a more exhausted business owner. So today's guest, Bron is a registered nurse, a mastered qualified educator, a marketing strategist, a business coach, and a two-time cancer survivor. And for more than 14 years, she's helped a bunch of service-based entrepreneurs build sustainable businesses that support their lives instead of taking them over. And today we're going to be talking about how fitness professionals can market smarter, can protect their capacity, can build a business that keep going without depending on them every single minute of the day. Bron, welcome to the FitBiz Accelerator.
Well, thank you for having me, Tobias. It is fantastic to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And you've had to rebuild your business through some major life changes, right? How did that change the way that you think about growth and success?
Yeah, it was, especially when they're not planned, right? So I did not have plan Bs. And I'll just put some context here. So when I did build my business and I followed everyone online. I did all the right things. I had beautiful mentors and built the business with the masterminds and the online courses, the clients, the programs, you name it, was all there. And when I got sick, so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, so just so I was not sick, I was very healthy, and it was the treatment that made me sick. But when I went into that, I did not have a plan B. And I got to the point, and I'm just going to share this snippet here so you can see how, in terms of profound, the change had to be. And I know many people have adversity in different shapes and sizes. So insert your own adversity here. For me, I was sitting there. I just had my second round of chemotherapy, bald, so sick. But I had a philosophy which was I was going to deliver exactly what I had promised I would deliver at whatever cost for my clients. Probably sounds familiar for a lot of people. So I was showing up with zero energy and obviously in a place that was just not sustainable. And I caught a glimpse of myself. So I'd gone onto a Facebook Live 4 hours after this treatment. And I keep looking that way because I'm imagining a mirror there, right? So I imagine I'm looking at this mirror and I see this strange human. I think, who is this person? I realize, oh my God, Bron, that's you. And I caught a glimpse and I literally put my finger up like this and I said, Bron, do you want to die? Because you keep this up, you're in a lot of trouble. And I shut that mastermind business down overnight. It was a Friday and I shut it down with no plan B. I'm a mum with a beautiful husband, Paul. We have 5 sons. No. What do you do when this adversity comes? Because I had to back me. And I think in the fitness industry, because it's so physical and there's a lot involved with your clients, you're involved in their lives because that's what they're sharing with you. It's really easy to give. And I think in service-based industries, we gave. So I give to the point where I couldn't give and I had to start backing myself. I had to start looking after myself, whether I liked it or not, because my life depended on it. So that's how dramatic that change was. So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I don't want you to get to that point.
Yeah.
And that was where the epiphany came to rebuild. That was the first time. I've had another one since then, but
Wow.
That was the dramatic one. And you just don't want to get to that point. And there are warning signs. if you slow down enough to see them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us have been to that burnout stage where we're just grinding, and then you start to feel it, and you're like, man, there's got to be a better way. And you often say capacity is the compass, not urgency. So what does that look like for an online fitness coach in practical terms?
I think what it looks like is it's a whole different philosophy in the way that we do business, right? So for me, I now look at my energy and not my to-do list, not the business, not the clients. I look at what it starts with me, which was the opposite. Because in the old Bron would have started with the clients and the to-do list and all of the things, and then energy of Bron. So capacity means we want to start looking after our own capacity and not going beyond what we have today, which is very hard if you've got clients booked in. I'm aware of that, right? I am so aware of that. But it's the other space. So capacity is now my compass, which means energy. If I don't feel it, and I know that if you and I were sitting here feeling inside and you don't listen to it, that's when you're going above your capacity. So capacity is my compass for choosing what I do and not do in every single day. It doesn't mean I don't do it. I just don't do it at that time.
Gotcha. And how can a coach tell the difference between being busy and actually doing the work that grows the business, in your opinion?
In my opinion, when it comes to, because it's really easy to be busy, especially if you're looking at influencers, you're looking online, you're listening to people. I think, like for me, having a mentor was the best thing I ever did. I had them for years and years because rather than looking at the 20 things that I could possibly do, we only looked at the 3. Because I was good with a list of 3 things. So when you realize within yourself, where's your happy spot? Where's your spot where you're really productive, but you're not going into that overwhelmed space, which could be I had a client once, she had a master's in mathematics, but she could only ever handle one thing at a time. So when we met, we'd meet for 15 minutes because she only needed the one thing, to do the one thing. And I think that's a good start, is understanding yourself, do the work on yourself and, really start listening. And the only way you'll start listening is if you start to slow down. And when I say slow down, it doesn't mean that you've got to sit on the couch. That is not what slowing down means. I'm talking energetically. I'm talking with your brain. I'm sure you can, in your space, Tobias, you understand what I'm saying there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what are some of the warning signs that somebody's actually built a business that depends just too heavily on their time and their energy?
And that is so easy to do. So easy to have done it. It's so easy. I've watched many people do it, especially when you become the block, when you become the core, even with a team. So I have my team, but I can be the block. So I think what that comes back to again is you'll know if you're building something that doesn't feel right. I know in your heart, if you listened to yourself, you'll know, because I built a business that was perfect for people around me. And online, this is exactly what we were told to do. But I knew that it didn't fit and feel right. But I was too busy at the time, because I was in growth stage, to actually go, hang on a minute, Bron, we got a fundamental business model flaw here. And sometimes literally taking out that time, take a day, take a week, I don't care, but take enough to be able to look at your business model and go, is this sustainable? Does it feel right? And that's where capacity and compass comes in, because I'm letting you know when it feels right. You won't even know. You'll just feel so amazing because it lifts you when you're building something that's in alignment. And I think that's where, Tobias, with what you do and how you've done that, is that you've built something that's in alignment now, which is when it does that, man, it goes boom.
Yeah, heck yeah. And, systems are going to be huge for that too. But a lot of trainers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they say yes to every single call, every single opportunity. So how can they set better boundaries without actually hurting their income?
Well, they think they're hurting their income. And in the week, they may be hurting their income, but long term, they're not. So imagine, right? This is not going to fit well with fitness coaches, right? We've gone to the local buffet. I never go. I doubt you go either, right? But imagine we've gone there, right? And you've got this massive, I don't want to say revolting, but massive chain of food in front of us. You can go along with your plate and go, well, it's getting given to me. I've got to take it all, right? And you're piling that plate up higher, higher, higher. Versus going in and go, well, look, what? I'm a seafood kind of girl. So I'm going to be having the prawns and the oysters and the Mediterranean kind of look and feel. So my plate's not so full. So I have room and capacity to attract the right thing. And in marketing land, we call it attraction marketing. So we want to attract the right people. What you put out online, guys, what you put out in marketing is what you get. I hate to say it, but that's the psychology in marketing and especially on social media. So we don't want to be in the buffet just loading up just because it's available versus being discerning. And when you have when it's cash flow related, it can be tough, especially if you've got family or life to pay for. But long term, you will attract and you will feel, and it means that for my plate, I can go back again and again and again because I'm not loading up on rubbish. So if I can assure that your clients can understand when I'm talking about the food issues here. It's actually the same in business. We want to go with a discernment, which is knowing who your ideal customer is. And especially in the fitness space, there are so many. And when we aim for an ideal customer, right? Imagine it like we've written it on a piece of paper. We've set that intention, but we've wrapped it around a rock. And we're going to throw it into the dam, right? I've got this beautiful pond, massive dam next to me with my house. We throw it in there, right? Where it lands, that's your ideal customer. It doesn't mean you don't get everyone else. So imagine the ripples as they go further and further away. Right? They're customers, but they're just becoming less ideal. It doesn't mean you don't get those guys as well, but when you're aiming for the ideal customer for you, your business model and how you want to live and grow, you will automatically over time start attracting the right kind of customer.
Nice. Yeah. And fitness coaches, they often feel like they need to post every single day to stay relevant. So do they really need more content or do they need a better marketing strategy?
They need a better marketing strategy and they need quality over quantity. So I know a lot of fitness coaches, they'll just put photos out of their muscles. That's okay if you're going for people who want muscles. But what if you're going for people who want longevity of life? What if you're going for people who just want to be healthy? The muscles won't attract them. Sorry, but they won't. They go, oh, I don't want muscles. It's a subconscious conversation. It's not a conscious decision or a conversation because what they're marketing, the idea of the post, and each post does a different job. Like we don't put the same thing out every time. We've got to strategically plan how we're going to fit that out. We come what I call the front of mind. It's called a front of mind campaign, which means when that person is ready, we want them to think of you. But they won't if you haven't started to attract and enter the conversation that's already going on in their head.
Yes, absolutely. And what are the few marketing strategies that you believe create the biggest return for a service-based business?
Well, I'm into the long game, right? So I'm into a long game. Short games are ads and things, right? But you can't play short games until you've played the long game. The long game is that long-term marketing strategy. You'll have more than one ideal customer, right? So you can have 2 or 3. You can have as many as you want. You just can't market to them all in the one post. All right. So I think the biggest way to explain that, I call it the 63. So if we had a room of 100 people, 3, and this is based on evidence, by the way, this is fact. This is not me making stuff up. 3 are ready to buy now. So imagine if 3 people have seen your stuff. 100 people have seen your stuff. Only 3 are ready to buy now. The next 30, you're going to go, Tobias, that's kind of cool. I like what you're doing there. But they're not ready to buy. So they're going to float around. They're going to watch. They may never, ever like a post, but they're watching. They're there. We call them the ghosts, but the ghosts are there, right? And they're looking, they're watching, but they might not do anything for 6 months. Then the next 30 are those who going, oh, wow, Tobias, I really like what you're doing there, but I've got this other strategy over here, or I'm working with this person over there and I'm doing this, da, da, da. They might float around for 9 to 18 months. The 37 who remain, they're never, ever going to buy. And we never, ever worry about the 37. We only focus on the 63.
Yeah.
All right. So it means that for those people who are selling, you're missing out on the 60.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So we want to go when we're putting stuff out. We want to be targeted. We want to go for that ideal customer, which means the ripple. That's the 63.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my advice: is to start really honing your craft on who it is you truly want to work with. What brings you to life? In Australia, we call it the barbecue test. Who would you invite to a barbecue at your house and where you're going to have the most fantastic conversations? That is your ideal customer.
Nice. Every time I hear that, I always there's like that saying, like, throw some shrimp on the barbie. I think of it every time, like, I hear Australian barbecue. I'm like, throw some shrimp on the
Well,
barbie.
that market, it worked well, didn't it? The
It did?
Australian marketing and the Australian tourism, it worked because you remember it. That's what I'm talking about with front of mind.
Nice. And then how can coaches create content that generates conversations and clients instead of just likes and views?
Yeah, great. Good question. That comes from what are you wanting to achieve from the post? That's good engagement and remembering the type of people who are out there looking. The ghosts are never going to comment. But when you actually talk to them and go, oh my God, I love your stuff. And you're going, what? You've never commented or liked. So what we want to focus on more is delivering quality content that speaks to your ideal customer, which of course then equates to saves, comments, DMs. So if you go and have a look, and I'm sure you do this, is you go and have a look at what's working. What I know that with my marketing, so like with the Serenity Project marketing, what I'm doing there at the moment, it's the rough, raw, revolting Bron videos that gets the most engagement. Or I think the biggest thing nowadays is when you're looking at the algorithm, the mystical, yes, it's real, but what we want to look at is especially the hook. So the hook to your video, the hook to what you're trying to say. Do not, if you've got a hook for your video, please don't go and say your hook. Put it in big, massive font at the top of your video or your reel for the first 3 seconds, because people need to understand exactly what you're wanting to talk about. They might not have read a post. If there's even a post to read, it could be a story. Put your hook loud and clear. And it's just when you're looking at your ideal customers' problems, what do they want in life? It's not what you like. All right. True. That's what I think in the fitness industry, people get confused because it's like they put up what they like.
Yep. I see it all
the
the time.
opposite.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. You've got to put out what's your ideal customer? What are they interested in?
Yeah. What are they searching for?
An example of that would be a psychologist, right? I had a client who was a psychologist. Clearly, there's very tight rules around what a psychologist can and can't put online, but she loved cats. So we started the strategic focus on bringing cats into her content. She started engagement, conversation. Why? Because people love cats. You're thinking, hang on a minute, Bron, that's got nothing to do with psychology. No, but it's got everything to do with her ideal customer. She's attracting people who love cats too, not those who like dogs.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with psychology. So that's where it comes for fitness coaches. You want to look at what does your ideal customer love, which means you want to have a connection clearly. If you love sunrises, beaches, travel, you could build a whole travel campaign or a whole feel and look of travel. Even if it's just down the street, it's still travel. But if you brought travel in as a theme because you love travel, guess what's going to happen? You're going to attract people who love travel. Oh my God, I want to go to that fitness coach who loves travel too. We imagine the conversations.
Yeah, that's huge.
Nothing with fitness, nothing.
And what are some ways that coaches can stay visible without feeling like they're just constantly creating from scratch every single time?
Yeah. That comes from strategy. That comes from knowing who you stand for, who you stand against. And you're wanting to, especially with AI, look, could you please stay away from AI videos and images at the moment? They're not, I don't think they're there yet. So I think we subconsciously feel through posts written and published by AI. We can use it for deep research. Yes, once you've nailed your ideal customer, chuck it all into Claude or GPT or whoever you're using and to build the strategy of who that person is. And you want to be able to write like you, but you're the writer. You are the creator of the content. To me, batch content is definitely on the game there. So I feel my proper video, like what I call my educational videos, once a month. I'm not there every week. I haven't got time for that. The little ad hoc things, yeah, we'll do them as we go. But you want to be really clear, because if you're clear on the story or the campaigns, and remembering when it comes to marketing, what we do now, we might not get a return on investment for 3 to 4 months because it's a long game. What used to take 10 to 12 hits on socials, for example, likes, comments, where it actually starts to penetrate someone's head. Talking about new people here, because it's designed to create what I call the curiosity button. That's all it's designed to do. Marketing on socials, for example. It's just, so do you see what I mean? Each thing has a different job. Mm-hmm. Then we move into advertising and promotion and selling, which is different to the curiosity button. But in the long game, if we create the curiosity, guess what happens? You're finally starting to enter that conversation. Oh my God, Bron loves dogs too. She loves beach walk. She loves travel. Cool, man. I want to go. I want to see what she's on about. And then they take that very first click. Call it in marketing land. We call it the click. We want the next click and then the next click, which means you want to have your marketing set so that they can start getting to know you before they even text you or meet you at the gym.
Yeah. That's so good. And obviously there's coaches that want to attract new leads, and then there's coaches that need to do better at nurturing their audience. And how should they balance the new lead attraction versus the nurturing the audience that they already have, in your opinion?
And it's such a good question, right? Because in my philosophy and the way that I've taught marketing over the years, we have 5 pillars. As you've just said, you've said the first 2: lead generation, lead nurture, sales and conversion, delivery. Everyone's good at the delivery. And then referrals, upsells, on sales, right? People, once the one that people forget the most, because you've got them on your database, they're the easiest ones to sell to because they already know you. But back to lead generation and lead nurture. This is the thing with socials, right? So for example, at the moment, reels are great for lead generation. Lead nurture for the moment is stories, because it's people who've already seen your stuff. Go and start looking at your own analytics. And if you don't understand that, find someone who can help you. Tobias I'm sure you can help in that space, right? To be able to explain what's the data telling you. And nurturing is where most people fall down, because they're so busy trying to look for new people that they forget to nurture the people who have already started to connect with them. So if you haven't got a database and you haven't got some sort of free offering and you haven't got a little basic website, which is so easy these days, go and get it. Go and find a place where people can start learning about you and signing up for whatever you've got. And it's not to set, you see, nurture stage, we're still not selling. We're still nurturing. Give away goods, free stuff. I remember when I first started in 2011, I had a mentor say to me, Bron, you've got to give your free stuff away first. You got to give the best stuff away first. I'm going, oh, what? What it does is it goes, wow, Bron cares enough that she's happy to give away this amazing information and help with zero expectation in return. Imagine working with her. I had a client who she was the first Australian, this is how far back we're going, a yoga course online, accredited yoga course online back in the day when it had to be credited. And she was one of those people. She did all the stuff that I'd said to do free. And I think it was 9 months later, I had a conversation, and that's when she became a client.
Nice.
But I nurtured her. It takes time. Think of the 63. And so value with zero expectation in return, because what you put out is what you get back. If you want to just keep selling, you're only going to get people who, that's all they care about, the bottom line. They care about the dollar, and they're going to be clients who all they care about is getting value for money. And that is probably not how you do business for most people, I'd imagine. They're actually wanting to achieve beautiful, good, healthy goals. And all this guy thinks about is money. Well, maybe at the beginning you put out a scarcity thing that all you care about is cheap stuff. What I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, the nurture should be huge, and everybody should. You're definitely going to need to have that in your business, whether it's a community, Facebook group where you're nurturing and going live every week, whether it's an email list and you're continuously giving value. So that way, when they are ready to finally get a coach, remember there's going to be that delay, but when most people are ready, then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like this coach has been giving me so much value, and now I have this pain point. Now I'm finally ready. You're going to be the one that's going to be top of mind. Whereas if you're not nurturing your audience, you're only going to be working on that little 3% that are ready right then. And all the rest will go to somebody else who's nurturing.
And they will go to someone else.
Yeah.
They absolutely will go to someone else, even though you could have been the better option.
Yeah.
So that's where, and it's a hard slog, right? So when it comes to the grind of delivering with zero expectation and knowing that you might not get paid for a while, it can be heavy on your heart and your wallet. But when that you're building this thing, it will come. It will come, but you want to have a really nice, in online space, it's the sales funnel. I don't love that word, but that's what nurture is. That's what nurturing is a sales funnel, which means that by the time they get to have the conversation with you or however you do your business, or they already know you, which means that their objections to the process of the sale, they're already done because you've met all of the questions. You've actually, when you're entering, as I said, I keep going like this because that's what I used to do in my courses and online, right? When you enter the conversation that's going on in their head, in such a natural way, you will obviously become the right option for them.
Yeah, that's so good. And just keep in mind, you guys, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And that's not going to come like the first time that they see your content. That's going to be those things. It's repetition, it's value, it's giving away before you ask, right? So if they see, like Bron was talking about, like you have a it's called a lead magnet where you give away a free resource. And they're like, oh my God, that was freaking good. They're going to be like, I wonder what their paid content, like what working with them is going to be like, because if their free content is as good. If you're giving away a bunch of crap and you're just like, oh, well, I'll just give them something that's super cheap or something that's generic or general or something like that, then they're going to think that that is a representation of what it's going to be like when they work with you. So give away the good stuff, right? You will attract the right
and put
sort
some effort into making it be who you are. Meaning, as I so agree with what you just said, which is like, because what happens in that, here we go again, subconscious conversation going on. What happens? I think they don't care. And it's not that you didn't care. It's just that you focused on the wrong thing, which was, shit, I need money. And I know you need money. I get that. I'm very aware of that. But what I'm also aware of is you want to build quality over quantity. So if you're time pushed, and there's a lot of people who hate getting on video, who hate getting on Reels. Great. There's so many different ways to get around it.
Yeah.
So many different ways. How does your ideal customer want to be communicated with? What do they want to see? How do you want them to feel? Marketing is all about emotion. The reason why on your phone, the reason why you stop scrolling is because something grabbed your attention, and that's all based on feeling and subconscious psyche. Nothing else. So you want to I don't like the word God, you want to really think about that marketing is made to look easy, especially with social media, especially with AI these days, right? Just go and do the things, and I've done 30 posts in 2 minutes. You don't think your ideal customer knows that that's not you? I saw a post put up yesterday for a local tourism group, and it's an AI generated image. And I'm going, well, if anybody knows that girl there, they know she doesn't look anything like that. What the hell are you doing? Don't use it in that way. Use it for what it's good at, which is streamlining and growing your business. My son, who's a commercial cleaner, he's got 12 agents in the background, including reconciling his books. He's done it. So this is where we want to use the tools to become efficient so you can do more of what you want to do, what you like the most, whether it be online, build that community. I couldn't agree more. Build a community, but don't expect engagement yet.
Value. Give so much freaking value that it's like people just are drawn to that, right? So, yeah.
And if you give the value with zero expectation in return, you will start filling your plate with oysters and prawns.
There we go.
You know, you want not
and lobster,
fry, whatever. You see what I'm saying? I have these random things. The reason why I use those visuals, right, especially in what I've done over the years, people get it.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to forget the plate with the prawns and the oysters versus the whole pile of rubbish, and that's discerning. And we want to be discerning because you have spent so long growing and learning your craft.
Yeah.
And it's so physically and emotionally attached to what you do in the fitness industry. Yeah. So let's shine brightly, which means we provide quality that you care about, because if you put out that you care, people know it.
Yeah. And Bron, if we switch gears and we go into more like systems, right? Because
a
lot of fitness coaches they're doing everything manual from the very beginning. Like technology and fitness coaches are kind of like, right? They're scared of each other.
Well, they don't have time for it, right? You just have time to learn that rubbish.
But they need to. And in your opinion, what part of the business should coaches start to work on automation first, in your opinion?
Because I'm not quite sure, because there's going to be so many different ideal customers in terms of if we're going from stop texting. Don't use a system that they can communicate within the system. And I know that in the fitness industry, there are so many tools out there, which means that we want a one-stop shop where people can come and find you. They can find your you might even do training for them or little videos for them. You want to use a tool that's a one-stop shop. So we don't have to go between a text to a calendar to a this to a that. My suggestion would be start using a place where it's a one-stop shop for you, but it's also a one-stop shop for them. And you teach them. You teach them to start doing that. It's no difference with a team and using different tools. I use ClickUp in my team. That was my choice. Everything has to go in there.
Yeah.
Because training videos. We can hook up there. So it's just using, and in terms of AI these days, there are so many options. I mean, Tobias, you'd know better than me because you're more in that space. You want us that, and I'm talking front end here. And that what that front end tool does, and they're so easy to build these days, whether you like it or not, you have to embrace that technology. So someone, if it's not you, find someone who you know can quickly build something up for you. Because one, what's the perception? Oh, wow, Bron, well, you've got this thing here. I can just go, you can give me my training. You can give me my this, you can check in. I can check with you. Oh, wow, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah. Well, to piggyback on that, I've created 2 systems just for
Well, there
that,
you
right?
go.
So there's Fit Pro Solution, and that's the all-in-one CRM. It has your email marketing, your
That's
funnels,
exactly
your
what
calendars, everything, your client communication, your text messaging. And I just created My Trainer Connect, which is the first marketplace to be able to hit in the US, where a client can go and search for the right type of trainer, and the trainer can be like, hey, here's me, here's everything that I have. And they can start to connect through a marketplace. So it's called My Trainer Connect, just launched. Actually, the soft
Can I just tell you guys that I didn't know that? So Tobias and I, we did not plan that, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, right? So in marketing land, I've got my stuff, right? Because time is money. Every time you go from a text to a calendar, that is money, because time is money. And the more efficient, the less processing, that if you want to scale your business, that's your first step, because without your processes, you will reach a ceiling, because it is just not possible to keep using those. And I think that's the thing with technology is you don't have to create it your own. There are people like, what? Oh, you've just told me, Tobias, you've just created it. Why? Because you knew there was a need. And what that does is, you're not spending money, you're investing money to go and do what you do better. Like my son with what he's done with his 12 agents who do literally the entire back end of his business, including giving him a list of product that he needs, because it knows it's an inventory, down to his quoting, through to his connecting with Xero, to balancing his books. All he's got to do is show him, and he's nailing it.
That's amazing.
25,
That's
and I'm
cool.
so proud of him. Why? Because he's using systems.
Yes.
Because that's where your money is. When you want to scale, you put your systems in
Systems
place. There's
allow you to
no other way to
scale.
do it.
Yeah, manual keeps you stuck. Manual keeps a ceiling over your head where you keep hitting your head, because you only have so many hours of the day. If you're doing a bunch of manual crap, like it's gonna wear on you.
Correct.
Right?
Same with training, right? You got your morning, you got your afternoons. You want to change it because time is money. So we want to leverage what you do so that you can get more out of your time, which means the time in the middle where your capacity is your compass, man, you can have a rest. You don't have to do anything because your systems have already done it for you. These systems, in terms of your socials, once you've done your basics and you build those systems in place, man, you sit back and let it do all the things for you.
That's why being an online coach is in my opinion, is so much better than being an in-person trainer where you have to trade your time for money. Online, you can create business systems and your client goes through it at their own time, right? You create things through an app. But let's just say if an online fitness coach wanted to build a more sustainable business over the next 90 days, Bron, what are the first 3 things you would tell them to focus on?
As an online coach?
As an online fitness coach, yes.
Okay. So they're wanting to scale, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if they're wanting to build a more sustainable business over the next 90 days.
I would go and revisit your ideal customer, because it may not be the one where you started, right? And I've found over my years as a coach, and I think one of the hardest things people do is their ideal customer, because it's evolving as you evolve. So I would go back and I would do an audit. That won't take you long. You can even get Claude to do it for you. Just stick all the stuff in and say, what do you think? And go and revisit your ideal customer and leverage what you've got. I call it quality easy. So what's something that you can, so for example, when I shut down my mastermind business, I had to look at what I had. And at that time, it was the beginning of 2018, that I had to look, and I'd done some training. I'd done some training with a lady who was very significant in running Barack Obama's second social media campaign. So I knew I'd learnt from someone who knew how the socials worked. I knew marketing. I didn't know socials. So I looked at what I had, which was to start some, back then, Facebook workshops, 4-hour Facebook workshops. I'm still in the middle of chemotherapy, okay? So give me a break here, people. But so for an online coach, what have you got in your arsenal? What have you got in your toolbox that can be repackaged, reused? So it could be that you've had this massive big program that you've been using could be a long-term program. Break it up. Break it up into smaller chunk-sized products. Especially as an online coach, you have so much information. You have so much content. So start reusing and repurposing what you have. And then that becomes another income stream. You've already done the work. Just
mini
reuse
courses.
it.
Yeah, you can create mini courses,
right?
front-end
Udemy,
offers.
you name it.
Yeah,
Put some effort into creating that multiple income space. Even like if you haven't started a podcast, start a podcast. Because these all add credibility to what you're doing. So because, I mean, I think it's just saying 90 days, I think you got to, A, go back to your ideal customer. 2, go and revisit your next 12, 24-month goals. Because you've grown, you're already online. Because if you're ready to scale, you're wanting to grow, you've already, in my world, the pre-frame is you've already done stuff, which means we're not trying to fix workflow or we're not trying to fix cash flow because you've already done that. We now want to add to it and become efficient. So just like finding a tool that does all of the things, you now want to start pulling apart what you've already got rather than creating something new.
There we go. Nice. There's your 3. Now we're going to do a quick...
That's my opinion.
We're going to do a rapid fire. So these are just one sentence answers, like just the first thing that comes to mind. We're going to go over 10. Are you ready?
My God. Okay.
All right. Number 1, what is one business task coaches has actually already spend too much time on?
Marketing. They spend too much time thinking about their marketing and putting out crap.
Yeah. Number 2, what should every coach automate?
Definitely the front end. Definitely that front end and lead generation process.
Okay. Are you talking about front end like lead nurture, like having a lead nurture system? Or
lead nurture, lead nurture. Bring him in and now nurture. Automate it.
Yeah. And then what is one boundary every business owner needs to have?
I think when that comes to ideal customers, learn to say no when it doesn't feel right. I've taken on clients and I knew it was a no, but I said yes because I wanted to help them and it ended badly.
Yeah, I think all of us. What is one marketing strategy that coaches should focus on more?
Keeping it simple. Don't look at trends. Keep it simple. What's going to work for them?
Okay. And what's one sign that it's time to just slow down and reassess?
Listen to your gut. Your gut's telling you a lot. Your body knows a lot. Start listening up.
Nice. And then finally, finish this sentence for me. A successful business should blank.
A successful business should be sustainable, built around the business owner's loves, wants, and to empower them, not put them to the grind.
Bron,
we only had to have 5, so I'm very happy about that.
There we go. And obviously, this has been an amazing conversation, Bron. And the biggest takeaway is that sustainable business growth is not about doing less just for the sake of doing less. It's about putting your time, energy, and attraction into the right things. Clear offers, smarter marketing, better systems, stronger boundaries, and a business that can continue to support through every season of life. So, Bron, where can people connect with you and learn more about your work?
Well, I think the best place is just to go to the socials. You'll find me at Bron Watson on Facebook, Insta, and LinkedIn. Just connect. Any questions, ask me. More than happy to answer any questions because like you, Tobias, I've got decades, or in my case, decades of information available that I'm more than happy to help and share with.
Woohoo. Love it. And Bron, thanks again so much for joining us. And to everybody listening, make sure you subscribe to the FitBiz Accelerator and share this episode with another coach who is ready to grow without running themselves into the ground. Thanks for tuning in to the FitBiz Accelerator. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a tip or strategy to grow your online fitness business. And if you're ready to fast track your success, don't forget to check out tntfitprocoaching.com. Until next time, stay consistent, stay focused, and keep crushing it.